Today we are going to read Shudraka's Mitchakatika, the seventh act, Act 7 of Shudraka's Mitchakatika. In this act, we have new characters and further complication that is cropping up in the play. So we have this scene or located at the same location that we found earlier. Enter Charudatta with Maitreya, the Vidushaka. Both enter the stage. Charudatta is the Nita of the play, the Nayak of the play, the hero of the play, and Maitreya is the Vidushaka, a friend who stays with. So Vidushaka says, Vidushaka enters the stage, and then Vidushaka with Charudatta, Vidushaka says, someone play Vidushaka's role. Zafar, Natasha, Anushka, Pritha, Payal, Shreya, Mohammad Shahid Ansari. Yes, Mohammad Shahid Ansari. Unmute your mic. Today you are to play this role. Unmute your mic, please. We cannot hear you. So here's Mohammad Shahid Ansari. Unmute the mic. So no one is willing to read.
Sir, can I play?
Yes, start. So
Oh, look
Vidushaka.
at the state. Oh, look at the state of the old garden Pushpakaranda.
Yes, Charudatta is there with Vidushaka. Someone play Charudatta. So this is the old garden, Pushpakaranda. And the description also comes to the dialogues because there is no possibility of elaborate stage setting in Sanskrit drama. Most of the stage setting is done through the language, evocative, descriptive description of the place. We find Vidushaka and Charudatta there. Someone play Charudatta, please. Yes, Payal, you want to participate today?
Yes,
Payal,
sir.
Shreya. Okay, Payal, you play Charudatta today.
Quite so, my friend. For see, the trees shine like merchants. The flower constitute their
Syllable
syllable
community.
community, and the king's offers in the form of bees move about as if collecting taxes.
Pray be seated on this slab of stone which is charming without any decoration.
Charudatta sitting himself in the garden says,
Vardhamanaka sir, এটা কি?
lingers.
Lingers very long, my friends.
So Vidushaka says,
I told Vardhamanaka to bring Vasantasena and come very quickly.
to bring.
Why then does he linger? Perhaps some chariot is slowly moving in front of him, and he waits till he finds room. Or perhaps the axle is broken and he has returned. Or perhaps the ruin in snapped, or perhaps the bath being obstructed by a block lying on business. He seeks another road, or it may be that he slowly argues on the pair of the bulls, and it coming higher freely at
Ease.
ease.
So coming here, hither, freely as ease. So they look, Charudatta looks at that chariot that is coming. You remember this chariot driven by Vardhamanaka has carried, instead of Vasantasena, Arakya. So that chariot was standing in front of Vasantasena's gate and Arakya, who was escaping the prison house. entered into the chariot and somehow escaped. So servant says, "Go on, bullocks, go on, go on." Arakya speaks to himself. Yes, Arakya. Who is to play
I am
Arakya?
I am exceedingly afraid of the sight of the king's officers, and as the fetters still cling to my foot, my escape isn't yet complete. I have got into the carriage of that noble personage without his knowledge, and I am going now therein like a cuckoo protected by the female crows in their nest. I have come a long distance from the city. Now shall I get out of the chariot and penetrate into the recess of the group, or shall I meet the master of this chariot? Rather, what good is of a hiding place in the group? The worthy Charudatta is spoken of as being ever kind to those who seek his protection. I shall depart after meeting him face to face. He, the noble one, will be most gratified to see me, who am just rescued from the misfortune of captivity. This body, which has attained this condition, was saved by me through the virtues of that great man.
Hey, here is the garden. I shall go in. Reverend Matria.
I shall
Matria?
inform you of good news, my friend. Vardhamanaka's voice is heard. Vasantasena should have come then.
Good
Charudatta
news
on
indeed.
You son of a slave, why are you so late?
Hey, don't get angry, good Matria. I remember that I had forgotten the cushions of the carriage and I had to go back for these, and that is why I'm late.
Turn the charioteer around, Vardhamanaka. Friend Maitreya help Vasansena to get out of the chariot.
What? Has she fetters on her feet so that she can't get out by herself?
So Vidusaka he rises and lifts the curtain of the chariot and sees.
Why, this isn't Mistress Vasantasena, this is Mr. Vasantasena.
A
Charu-
truce to your jest, my friend. Love cannot endure delay. Rather, I will help her to get out of the chariot.
So he rises up and after discovering Arakya says,
Ah, here is the master of the chariot. He is not merely attractive to the ears but also to the eyes. Thank heaven, I am safe.
so Charudatta entering the chariot and seeing Arakya.
Who
Charudatta
then
says,
is this? He, his arms are long like the trunk of an elephant. His shoulders are
protuberant.
protuberant and browny like the lion's. His chest is full and uh, cap, cap,
Capacious.
capacious, and his long eyes are copper red and restless. How could this noble one of such a graceful person bear a fetter clinging to his foot, so unworthy of his dignity? Who are you, sir?
So brilliant description of this person Arakya. Arakya is muscularly built, okay, with very brave figure and courageous man. So he's asked, why are you putting on this chain on your legs? Why is this fetter there on your legs? Who are you, sir? And then Arakya says,
I am one who seeks your protection. I am Aryaka and by birth a herdsman.
Are you he whom kind Palaka brought from the hamlet and confined in prison?
Quite so, quite so.
Fate has brought you higher within my sight. I may rather give up my own life, but I shall not forsake you who has sought my protection.
so Arakya is very happy and manifests his joy. Charudatta says,
Vardhamanaka removed the fetters from his foot.
Yes, sir. He does so. Okay, he removes the. Yeah, master, the fetters are removed.
But you have bound me with yet stronger fetters of love.
So Vidushaka says,
Now you put on the fetters yourself. He is liberated. We shall go.
Charudatta,
Uh, uh, Peace for shame.
Charudatta, my friend, I got into your chariot with a confidence in you, therefore I beg to be excused.
I am really honored by the fact that you have yourself entertained a confidence in me.
If you permit it, I now desire to go.
Go then.
Well, I will alight from the chariot.
No, my friend, you need not alight. The fetters have been removed of you only just now, and walking will be difficult for you. In this place where men freely move, the chariot will excite uh, no suspicion, so you may go in the chariot itself.
I thank you, sir.
Uh, Auspicious be your way to join your kinsmen.
Indeed, I have found in you a kinsman.
I must be remembered in the course of
conversation.
conversation.
Can one forget himself?
May gods protect you in the path.
I am already protected by you.
No, you have been saved by your good fortune.
Really, you are the main cause thereof.
Since King Palakas uh,
Is roused.
is roused, protection will be difficult, so you must depart quickly.
Yes, only to meet again.
So
Having
this makes Arakya depart from that place. As you know that King Palaka and his servants, they are searching for Arakya and he's escaping them. And Charudatta offers his help to Arakya to escape. Charudatta, yes.
having committed the uh, serious offense towards the king, it does not defeat us to linger here even for a moment. Maitreya, throw the fetters into old well. The kings are likely to watch others' deeds through their spies.
So now another premonition. So his Charudatta's eye is throbbing. So we always
Ma-
think that this is a premonition to something coming, something disastrous going to happen. So he
Ma-
says,
Maitreya, my friend, I am eager to see Vasant Sena. See, I have not met today for fair Vasansena and my left eye, Vasant left eye
probs.
sobs. My heart too is causelessly anxious and is highly dis, uh,
Distress.
distressed.
Distress.
Distressed. Come, let us go. He walks about. Oh,
Yeah.
a Buddhist man descend.
Mendicant.
Mm,
Mendicant is coming, is come.
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, তো পাচ্ছি না খুঁজে।
Oh, a Buddhist mendicant is come and his
And
sight
his sight for
for
both
boards.
something ill. Let him enter by that path, while we shall depart by this.
So the seventh act ends. So this is a short act, very interesting act, because we have previously in Act 6 seen that the chariot that was supposed to carry Vasantasena to this same garden has actually brought Arakya, who has escaped King Palaka. And when he has come to this garden, Charudatta, to his dismay, finds that Vasantasena is not there in the chariot. And Vidushaka and Charudatta, they accept this Arakya and then allow Arakya to escape this with the chariot. And they finally leave the stage. So this is an interesting part of the complication. A new story has been introduced into the main plot. And the interweaving of the main plot and the subplot together make the play Mrithyakatika very interesting. At the backdrop of the story, there is always a revolution that is initiated by Arakya. And Arakya will be overthrowing King Palaka. And there is interlinking of this story with another story, the main story of the play, the love and attraction between Vasantasena and Charudatta. So both are in profound love. They have thought of meeting each other in this garden, but instead of Vasantasena, the charioteer has brought in Arakya. So here the seventh act ends. And with this complication, now we have new type of suspense generated through the play. So this is a typical prakaran that keeps on generating our suspense. Now the audience keep on asking question, then where is Vasantasena? Is Charudatta aware of this? That Vasantasena has embarked on another chariot. Where will that chariot take Vasantasena to? So this suspense and thriller is a part of the form called prakaran. Because the story is not known to us, the audience keep on waiting. In case of Nataka, another form of Dasarupaka, like Abhigyanam Shakuntala, we have a legendary story. We know the story. Therefore, following the story is much easier in case of Nataka. But in case of Prakaran like Abhigyanam Shakuntala, it depends on the arousal of suspense and following the action. So we are almost like detectives, trying to search for the next episode, trying to solve for ourselves. And this excites our interest in the play. So from here we have another act, Act 8 of the play, Mrithyakatika by Shudraka. So in Act 8 of the play, we have this mendicant. So you remember a mendicant in the play was there in the previous scene, who actually was Mesazu, and finally he realized that the life of a worthy man should be followed by him, and he takes up, after seeing the virtues of Vasantasena and Charudatta, he takes up the vow to become a Buddhist, and that person has become a Buddhist. Can you remember him? Do you know him? Who is that person? So let us see who is that person. Someone to play Manda, the mendicant?
Okay, sir,
Yes,
I'm
sir, I'm
playing.
play.
May I?
Yes, who will
Okay,
play
okay.
mendicant? Okay, Natasha, mendicant.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Ye ignorant men, lay by a store of religious merit. Restrain your appetite belly and be forever vigilant with the help of the drum in the form of meditation. The sins are fraudulent and will steal away the religious merit that you have long hoarded. And also, having observed that transient nature of everything in this world, I take refuge with the virtue itself. Whoever conquers his five sins dispels the
Nicians.
Nician removes his egotism and thus save himself, shall most surely attain Swarga. Why shave the head of the face when the mind itself is not saved? On the other hand, he whose mind is shaved has also his head and face well shaved. This garment has been dipped in red-colored water, and now, sir, slightly टोकरे तुलना, please.
Yes, just a minute.
And now I will go into the garden for the king's brother-in-law, wash it in the pond therein, and come away very quickly.
He walks about and does so.
A voice behind the scene is heard.
Stay, you wicked mendicant, stay.
Someone else is saying, "Stay, you wicked mendicant, say, stay." So, mendicant, you remember this person has converted to Buddhism, is talking about grace, about virtue, and he discovers the speaker with fear. The mendicant says,
Heaven help me. Evidently, there comes Samsthanaka, the king's brother-in-law. Just because one mendicant committed an offense now, wherever he sees a mendicant, whether the same or not, he will bore a hole in his nose and drive him round like a bullock. Where will a florid person take refuge? Or rather, the Lord Buddha alone is my refuge.
so Vita means servant, enters with a sword. And Samsthanaka, you remember Samsthanaka chasing in Act 1, Vasanta Sena. He enters with a Vita. So Samsthanaka's name is Sakara, brother-in-law of King Palaka. So someone play Sakara. Sakara is main character of this play. Sakara.
Stay, you can
Wicked.
stay. I will pound your head like a red radish at a banquet.
So he strikes him. Vita, the servant. So who is accompanying Sakara? Yes, Pritha, Mohammad Shahid, Jafar, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Play the role of Vita.
Okay, sir. You son of an unmarried woman, it is not proper for you to beat this mendicant who, having renounced everything, is in yellow robes. What have you to do with him? Look, rather, this garden, which offers itself to pleasure. It does most noble and serviceable acts by means of its forest trees, which afford joy and shelter to the forlorn. Like a newly founded realm, it is an unclaimed object of enjoyment.
So the mendicant
Well,
says,
welcome. Be merciful. Be merciful. You worshipper of Buddha.
Sakara says,
Here, friend, he's insulting me.
What does he say?
He says, I am a servant. Am I a barber?
He praises you as being the worshipper of Buddha.
Praise me, mendicant, praise me.
You are blessed. You are holy.
Friend, he says, I am Dhanya and Punya. Am I a materialistic philosopher, a water throw, or a pot maker?
You son of an unmarried woman, he praises you by saying that you are virtuous and that you are holy.
Friend, what did he come here for?
To wash this garment.
You wicked mendicant, this garden Pushpakaranda was given me by my sister's husband, and it is the finest of all gardens. Dogs and jackals drink the water in it is the finest of all gardens. Dogs and jackals drink the water in this pond. I am a high personage. I am a great man, and I don't even take a bath. And here in this pond, you bring your stinking and dirty clothes and wash them. I shall therefore make a short work of you with a single stroke.
Oh, you son of an unmarried woman, I infer he must have not been long and
mendicant. Monk. Okay, mendicant means a Buddhist monk. Okay, Sakara says,
How does my friend make it out?
What is there to make out? See, his forehead wears a brilliant hue, as his hair was only newly shorn. The rough garment being worn only very short time before, no scar is yet made on his shoulder. He doesn't sufficiently know how to dye his robes red on account of the length of the garment. Its skirt, skirt hangs loosely and doesn't cling tight to the shoulders.
True. Worshipper of Buddha, I have been a mendicant, but a short time before.
Then why haven't you been a mendicant from the time when you were just born?
He beats him. So there is this slapstick comedy. Often we find this type of comedy. Sakara is the brother-in-law of the king. So he thinks that he's very, very powerful. And mendicant, he has just converted into Buddhism. So he is there. So he is being beaten up. Mendicant says,
Buddha be praised.
What do you mean by beating this poor mendicant? Leave him, let him go.
Hey, just wait a minute while I take counsel
With whom?
with my own heart.
Alice, he shall never go.
Blessed little heart, my little son and master, shall the mendicant go or shall he stay?
now he speaks to
Ah,
him.
he shall neither go nor shall he stay. Well, my friend, I took counsel with my heart, and this my heart says,
Says what?
he shall neither go nor stay. He shall neither breathe in nor breathe out. He shall fall down here immediately and let him die.
Buddha be praised. I throw myself upon your protection.
Let him go.
Well, on one condition.
And what is that?
He must fling away mud alone without making the water turbid. Or better yet, he must collect the drinkable water alone and throw aside the mud.
What? What a stupidity is this?
This earth is groaning under the weight of fools like him, whose thoughts and deeds are all overturned, and who are, so to speak, trees of flesh or images made of stone. So these words of Vita that reveal Sakara's character. Such characterization is done in Sanskrit plays by other characters. So we have two types of characterization modes. One is internal characterization, one is external characterization. Through their character and conduct, the character usually reveal a lot about himself or herself. And the second, through the commentaries given by other characters, the characters get revealed. So Vita says, yes, Vita. Vita says, so is the connectivity issue? Can you hear me?
Sir,
Yes, sir,
I can't
we
hear
can
you.
hear.
Yeah, Vita says. Vita continues.
This earth is groaning under the weight of fools like him, whose thoughts and deeds are all overturned, and who are, so to speak, trees of flesh or images made of stone.
The mendicant now censures him by signs. Okay, warns him. Sakara says.
Hey, what does he mean?
Oh, he praises you.
Okay, praise me, praise me, praise me again.
So mendicant does so, and then mendicant goes out of the stage. So Vita there on the stage.
You son of an unmarried woman, mark the beauty of this garden. These trees that are lovely on account of
Fruits and flowers, and over which full grown and steady creepers cling and interlace, and which are guarded by watchmen at the king's command. These enjoy a happiness similar unto that which is enjoyed by men possessed of wives.
My friend speaks quite appropriately. The ground is highly ornamented with various flowers that have fallen down, and the trees are bent low under the weight of flowers, and the monkeys hanging from the creepers at the tops of trees sport about like jackfruits.
You, son of an unmarried woman, please be seated in the middle of this slab of stone.
Well, I have taken my seat.
So he still sits with Vita. So we find that Vita and Sakara, they have two different opinions regarding the garden. One is very optimistic. Vita is very optimistic about the garden, appreciates the beauty of the garden, while Sakara always talks about the negative aspect. So he's pessimistic, skeptical. Sakara continues.
Friend, I remember that Vasanta Sena even yet. Like the words of a wicked man, she does not go out of my heart.
Vita is speaking to himself.
Even though repulsed by her, he yet remembers her. For indeed, the sentiment of love in mean-minded men increases all the more when they are spurned by women they desire. But a noble man's passion gets either diminished under such circumstances or vanishes altogether.
Friend, long time has passed since I told my servant Stavaraka to drive my chariot and come here very quickly. And even yet he is not come. I have been hungry from a long time, and it is not possible for one to go afoot in the midday. The sun has attained the zenith of the sky, and he is hard to look at as a angry ape. The earth is hard distressed, like Gandhari, whose 100 sons were killed.
See again, this Sakara is very ill informed about the mythological stories, about the classical epical stories, and keeps on confusing things. Interestingly, he talks about the chariot. You remember a chariot was there that carries Vasantasena? So that chariot is now informed. That means they are also waiting for a chariot to come. One chariot we have seen has come with a wrong person. And Charudatta, along with Maitreya, have seen Arakya in that chariot. Now another chariot is being awaited. Sakara and Vita, they are waiting for this chariot to come. Vita says,
True, the herd of cattle lies drowsing in the shade, letting fall the mouthfuls of fodder. The deer in the forests, suffering from thirst, drink the waters through heated of the pool. The highway is not traversed by men out of fear of sunstroke. So I think the chariot is stopped at some shady place, having been turned aside from the heated ground.
Sir, the rays of the sun find shelter on my head. Birds, flying creatures, also sky rangers shelter themselves amidst the branches of trees, and men, people, and persons breathe hard and hot, and lying in their homes as their sole refuge, endure the heat of the day. Sir, the servant is not come even yet. I shall be singing in the meanwhile just to delight myself.
he keeps singing.
Friend,
He is singing.
Friend, did you hear what I sang?
What shall I say? You are verily a Gandharva.
So this Gandharva, this word is very interesting because of the compositional history of the text. So Gandharva period, we remember, was after Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, during that Mauryan dynasty period, we have this Gandharva period. And Gandharva period was the most flourishing period in the field of music, art, architecture. Several temples were built, and the musical tradition was also based on Gandharva. So Vita is appreciating Sakara, who is singing. So you are like a verily Gandharva. Sakara says,
Why shouldn't I be a Gandharva when it is a fact that I take the mixture of perfumes like asafoetida, cumin, ginger, orris, and treacle? Why should my voice be other than remarkably melodious? Well, sir, I shall just sing again.
so he does again sing.
Sir, did you hear what I sang?
Oh, what shall I say? You are really a Gandharva.
Why shouldn't I be a Gandharva? I always feed upon the flesh of the cuckoo, well seasoned with asafoetida and pepper powder and fried in oil and especially in clarified butter. When such is the case, why should my voice be other than remarkably melodious? Sir, the servant is not come even yet.
Be easy in your mind. He will be here presently.
So now we have a chariot entering the scene. Enter Vasantasena mounted in the chariot. You remember that chariot? That chariot has come. And now the servant says, I am afraid the sun has attained the middle of the horizon. Will not Samastaknaka, the king's brother-in-law, be very angry now? Therefore I shall drive faster. Ha ha ha! Run on, bullocks, run on! Now Vasantasena, who is sitting in the chariot, Vasantasena says, someone play Vasantasena? Yes,
Sir, can I?
Yes. So I expect Payal and Shreya. You are also there. Payal, Shreya, you can play Basantasena today? Yeah? Willing to? Okay, Shreya, come on. Yeah.
Alas, really this is not Bhadramanaka's voice. What can this mean? Can it be that we very worthy Charudatta, fearing that the bullocks might become weary, sent another man with another chariot, my right eye again throbs. My heart is all a tremble, there is no one in sight, everything seems to dance before my eyes.
Sakara, thou hears the sound of the wheels. Sakara says,
Friend, the chariot has come.
How do you know?
Doesn't my friend see? It squeaks like an old hog.
so Vita observing says,
I quite perceive it. It is come.
Savaraka, my little son, my servant, are you come?
Natasha, play the servant's role.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is the chariot also come?
Is the chariot also come? Chariot,
Yes, sir.
chariot also come? Servant says,
Yes, sir.
Are the bullocks also come?
Yes, sir.
And are you come also?
Yes, master, I am also come.
Then drive the chariot in
But which road?
through this fracture in the wall.
Oh, master, the bullocks will be killed. The cart will go to pieces. And I, your servant, shall also be killed.
I am the king's brother-in-law, man. If the bullocks are dead, I shall buy new ones. If the cart is to go to pieces, I will have another one made. If you are dead, there shall some another driver of the chariot.
Really? Everything will be replaced, but only I will not be able to replace myself.
Hey, fellow, let everything go to ruin. You shall drive the chariot over the fractured wall.
Let the chariot go to pieces. Let the master go himself to ruin alone with it. Let there be a new chariot. I shall go to the master and inform him.
So he drives in through that broken wall. So this is an interesting scene where we find Sakara, Samsanaka, Sakara, and the servant arguing. And the character of Sakara is revealed here. Although he is a villain of the play, he is a person who keeps on entertaining us with his stupid comments, jokes. So bombastic character. So the servant drives in the chariot, and then the servant says,
What? Not broken? Master, here is come your chariot.
Are not the bullocks split in two? Are not the ropes dead? And aren't you killed?
No, sir.
Come, sir, let us look at the chariot. Sir, you are my preceptor, my great preceptor. You look as if you are desirous of being treated with respect from a consideration of the fact that I am your intimate friend and that I bear an affection towards you. So you better mount the chariot before me.
Very well.
so Vita then starts to do so, does it. And Sakara says,
No, no, you better stay. Is this your father's cart that you should mount on it first? I am the owner of the chariot, and so I will enter it first.
It is only you that asked me to mount on the chariot first, and I did so accordingly.
Even if I were to say so, you are to say out of courtesy. You better enter first, master.
You better enter the chariot, sir.
Now I will enter. Savaraka, my little son, my servant, turn the chariot around.
so servant does so, turns the chariot around, and the servant says,
Enter, master.
now Sakara enters the chariot. So will he be surprised? Sakara will be surprised, enters and looks about, then hastily gets down in terror and clings to the neck of Vita.
Sir, sir, you are dead. You
Why
are
is Sakara
dead.
surprised?
There is a
Yes, why
female
is Sakara
demon or a
surprised?
thief
Sakara,
that
why
is
are you
mounted.
surprised? You were expecting something else. Sakara, why are you surprised? When you enter the chariot, why are you surprised? You were expecting just to ride the chariot. The servant has brought the chariot now from this garden. You will return home by the chariot. But entering the chariot, suddenly you see something. Yes, Sakara says, surprised. Sir.
Sir, sir, you are dead. You are dead. There is a female demon or a thief that is mounted on the chariot and lives therein. If it is a female demon, then we both are robbed. If it is thief, then we both are devoured.
Let there be no fear. How could a female demon travel in a bullock conveyance? Perhaps your eyes were blinded with the glare of the midday sun, and hence arose this hallucination when you saw the shadow of Sthavaraka with the smoke on it.
Sthavarak, my little son, my slave, are you alive?
Yes, sir.
Sir, there lives a woman in the chariot mounted on it. You better see that.
What? A woman? Like bulls whose eyes are obstructed by torrents of rain. Let us bow our heads and wend our way quickly. My eyes are afraid of gazing on high born dames, since I am desirous of being esteemed in public places.
Now Vasanta Sena with amazement.
With amazement to himself, what it is that king's brother-in-law whom it is painful for me to gaze at. Alas, unfortunate I am, my life is in peril. My coming hither has proved as fruitless as the sowing of the handful of seeds on a barren spot of saline soil. What shall I do now? No.
This old servant is evidently very much frightened, and so he won't look into the chariot. So you better look into the chariot, sir.
What harm is there in it? Very well, I'll do it.
What? Jackals are flying in the air. Crows are walking on all fours. While the demon is chewing my friend with her eyes and looking at him with her teeth, I will make my escape.
What? The deer goes after the tiger. Alas, the female swan, abandoning her mate who is bright and lovely like the autumnal moon, and who is reclining on the white river sands, has come here seeking after a common crow.
Aside to
Aside to
Vasanta Sena.
Vasant Sena.
Yeah.
Vasant Sena, this isn't proper. It isn't worthy of you. Your feeling of self dignity rejected him before, and now for gold, and at the im- importunity of your mother.
No, she shakes her head.
So Vasanta Sena keeps shaking her head, denying. So he has been accused that you have come here for gold against your self dignity and respect. Vita says,
He is esteemed and honored consistently with the mean disposition and that characterizes the living of a prostitute. I did tell you before, Serve equally the man you love and him you hate.
I came here by some
Erroneous.
erroneous erroneous interchange of chariot. I seek refuge with you.
Don't fear, don't fear. Very well, I shall deceive him.
So he approaches
Approaching at
Sakara.
Sakara,
Yeah.
you son of an unmarried woman, it is really a female demon that lives here.
Sir, if a female demon is living there, why are you not robbed? And if it is a thief, why are you not eaten up?
What is the purpose of demonstrating all that? What harm is there if we should go back to the city of Ujjaini, walking afoot under the shady row of trees in the gardens?
And if we did so, what then?
If we were to do so, we would if we were to do
We would
so,
have some exercise.
we would have some exercise, and moreover, we would avoid giving trouble to the bullocks.
All right then, Sthavaraka, my servant, drive on the chariot. No, stop. I will go on foot before the gods and Brahmins. No, I will go mounted on the chariot so that people will say, seeing me after afar, there he goes, our master, the king's brother in law.
Vita speaking to himself.
It is hard to convert poison into a medicine, so be it then.
He
You,
then speaks
son of an
aloud.
unmarried woman, this is Vasant Sena who has come to meet you.
Heaven forbid.
Sakara is very happy with great joy. Sakara says.
Ah, to meet me, a high personage and a regular Vasudeva.
Exactly so.
Then I have attained an unprecedented fortune. That other time I greatly offended her, and now I will fall at her feet and pacify her.
Hmm, you have spoken quite well.
I shall now fall at her feet.
Now he approaches Vasantasena. Yes. And
My
quotes her.
little mother, my dear mamma, please listen to my respectful solicitation. I fold my hands and fall at thy feet, O broad eyed lady. Thy teeth are neat and clean, and thy fingernails are ten. Whatever offense I have done unto you in the over anxiety of my love, I have done here pacification for all that. I am your slave, and I am at your entire disposal.
Vasantasena is very angry at Sakara.
Begone. You speak what is base and earthy. She sources him with her fool.
Okay, she rejects, spurns him, rejects with her foot. Sakara is now very
Oh.
angry.
This head which my mother and mamma caressed and kissed, and which bowed not even to worship the gods, has been kicked at with feet like the carrion by the jackals in the forest. As Tavaraka, you servant, where did you meet with her?
Master, the highway was blocked by villagers' wagons. So I stopped my chariot in Charudatta's orchard. And getting out of it, I helped in turning the wheels of the cart so as to clear my way. In the meanwhile, I suppose she mistook this chariot for another and had mounted in.
Oh, she came here because she mistook my chariot for another and didn't come to meet me. Well, get out of my chariot, get out. You are going after the poor merchant's son and my bulls to take you. Get down, you born slave, get down and down.
Truly, I am honored by your words that I go after the worthy Charudatta. Now, what must happen, let it may?
With his hands circumferenced by 10 lotus like nails and greedy for striking as if in sport, I shall drag thy beautiful body by the hair from my carriage as Jatayu did the bride of Vali.
Bali is, you remember, bride of Bali is someone different, and Jatayu is different. So he again confuses and says, I will kill you, Vasantasena. Vita says,
Virtuous ladies possessed of excellent merits are not to be caught by the hair and humiliated. The creepers grown in pleasure gardens do not deserve to be violently deprived of their sprout. So stand up, man. I shall help her to alight from the chariot. Vasansena, please come down.
Vasantasena alights and stands apart. Sakara says to himself,
The fire of anger was enkindled when she rejected my words, and now it has blazed up because she kicked at me with her feet. So now I will murder her. Let it be so then. Sir, if you do desire to have a garment with broad and hanging fingers and 100 tassel, or if you desire to relish sweet flesh and derive satisfaction, then making the sound choo choo, coo coo coo,
What then?
you shall do what will be pleasing to me.
I shall certainly do it, unless it be a sin.
Sir, there is not even the smell of a sinful task therein. There is no female demon.
Speak then.
Murder Vasantasena.
so Vita is surprised, shocked, shutting his ears. Vita says,
She is a young damsel and the ornament of the city. She is a courtesan, and nevertheless the spirit of love and her courtesy are unlike that of a prostitute. Moreover, she is entirely free from blame. If I should kill such a lady, then with what raft shall I cross the river of the future world?
so with what Boitoroni can I cross? He's asking. Sakara says,
I will give you a boat, and besides, in this lonely garden, who will see you murdering her, huh?
The 10 quarters of the sky, the sylvan deities, the moon, the blazing red lord of the day, dharma, virtue, the wind, the sky, likewise my inmost soul, these all do see me, as well as the earth that ever bears testimony of noble and sinful deeds.
Well, then, murder her covered under the end of your cloak.
Fool, oh, you are a vile wretch.
This old hog is afraid of sin. Well, I shall prevail upon Savaraka, my servant, to do it. Savaraka, my little son, my servant, I will give you golden bracelets.
I too shall wear them.
I will have a golden seat made for you.
I too shall sit on it.
I will give you all the leavings of my food.
I too shall devour them.
I will make you the chief of all my servants.
Master, I will be the chief.
Then you shall act up to my words.
Master, I will do anything unless it be a sin.
There is not even the smell of a difficult task in it.
Murder this. Then speak out, master.
Murder this lady Vasantasena.
Oh, master, be pacified. The worthy lady has been brought hither by me, a sinner, because she mistook this chariot for another.
Hey, servant, am I not your master?
Master of my body, and not of my character. So be pacified. Master, be pacified. I am really afraid.
You being my servant, whom are you afraid of, huh?
Of the other world, master.
Ah, what is this other world?
Master, it is the ripening of
righteousness.
righteousness and sin.
What does righteousness ripen into?
Into the state of being like my master, adorned with various golden ornaments.
How does it culminate in?
In the state of being me, a eater of another's food, so I will do not sinful act.
Hey, you won't murder her.
So Sakara strikes him strikes the servant by several means. Now the servant says,
You may beat me, master. You may kill me, master. I will do no sinful deed. But force of my ill luck, I am already made a born slave, and further misery I shall not buy. So avoid a sinful deed.
Sir, I threw myself upon your protection.
You son of an unmarried woman, be pacified, be pacified. Well done, Sthavaraka. Lo, even this poor slave, emerged in the most despised condition of life, seeks virtue's meed beyond the grave. But this master does not. Then why do not such creatures go to instant ruin who multiply sin and abandon virtue? And again, fate will ever be searching for weak points and is
iniquitous,
iniquitous since he is a slave and you are a lord, and since he does not enjoy your wealth and obey his word.
Sakara, he speaks to himself.
This is an old jackal afraid of sin, and this is a born slave afraid of the other world. I am the king's brother in law, and I am an excellent personage. So, whom am I afraid of, huh? Well, servant, you born slave, go away, enter any screened place, and remain alone.
Yes, master.
So he approaches Vasantasena and then says,
Madam, this is all my power.
the servant then exits, goes out of the stage. And Sakara, now he girds up his loins, says to Vasantasena,
Stay, Vasantasena, stay. I am going to murder you.
Vita protests and seizes by the throat and says, Vita says, you will kill her in my very presence. See how Vita is protesting against Sakara's evil deed. Sakara is planning to murder Vasantasena. And now we find Vita fighting with Sakara. He seizes him by the throat and Sakara falls to the ground. Sakara says,
Sir, you are murdering your master.
so he loses his own consciousness, but again recovers and then says,
Ever and anon you were nourished by me with meat and clarified butter, but now when your assistance is needed, you have become my foe.
reflecting,
Good.
he says,
I have now found a way. The old jackal has given her a hint by shaking his head at her. So I will send him away and then I will murder Vasantasena. Let it be so then. I was born of a noble family, big as a jasmine leaf. How could I do that sin I spoke about? I just said so to make her receive me.
Vita says, what is the use of speaking of your noble birth? It is character alone that is the best criterion in this respect. Thorns grow abundantly on a fertile soil too.
Sir, she's bashful in your presence and she doesn't therefore confess her love to me. Therefore, please go. Moreover, Sthavaraka went away after receiving a blow from me. He is running away. Hence, catch him, sir, and come back.
So Vita is now speaking to himself. Vita says,
Per- Perhaps Vasansena, possessed of much self-dignity, may not entertain this fool in our presence, so I shall create privacy for her, for the essence of love consists in familiarity due to solitude. Very well, I shall go.
Vasantasena now seizing the hem of his garment. Vasantasena
Did I
says,
not throw myself on your protection?
Vita says. So Vita is asked, why are you escaping?
Don't
Going
fear,
away?
Vasansena, do not fear. You, son of an unmarried woman, Vasansena is a pledge committed to your hand.
All right, let her be committed to my hand as a pledge.
Vita says,
Are you speaking the truth?
True.
so Vita going a few steps.
Father, if I were to go away, the cruel wretch might kill her. I will conceal myself for a time and observe what he intends to do.
So he remains in a retired place. Sakara.
Good. I will murder her, or rather, this crafty and cunning man, the old jackal, this Brahman, has gone and hidden himself and will cheat me like the jackal he is. I will just do this in order to deceive him.
So he gathers flowers and adorns himself therewith. Says,
Vasantasena, my love, come.
so Vita says,
Yes, he has he has turned a lover. Good. I am free from anxiety. I shall go.
so looking at this, Vita finds that this person has turned into a person fallen in love with Vasantasena. Being assured, Vita leaves the stage and Sakara is there now alone with Vasantasena. Sakara says,
I give you gold, I speak to you affectionately, and I fall at your feet with my head that wears a turban. Nevertheless, you do not love me, O beautiful teethed lady. Are we in your eyes men made merely of wood?
What doubt is there? She bends her head down and repeats the following verses. You are a man of weak deeds. You are the basest of human beings, and you are a good sinner. Why do you allure me with your best gold, the honey-loving bees never abandon the pure and the stainless lotus flower. A personage of high worth and character, even though very poor, is to be resorted to with a good deal of effort, and it is the glory of a person to set her love on a personage befitting her. Having served the mango tree, I will not make up my mind to serve the pala- palasa tree.
Sakara says,
Oh, slave wench, you make that poor Charudatta mango tree while you call me a palasa tree? You make me not even Kimshuka tree. Thus you use abusive language in respect of me, and even yet you affectionately remember Charudatta.
How is he not to be remembered? Who dwells in my heart?
This very minute I shall kill him who dwells in your heart, and you too remain a while, you poor merchant man's love.
Oh, speak again those words that are deserving of being highly honored.
Let that poor Charudatta, the son of a slave, rescue you now.
I shall be rescued if he only sees me.
Is he Indra, the son of Vali, Mahendra, son of Rambha, Kalanemi, Subendu, King Rudra, son of Drona, Jatayu, Chanakya, Thundumara, or Trishanku? But even if he were to be any of this, he could not rescue you, as Sita was killed by Chanakya in the Bharata age. So I will kill you as Jatayu did Draupadi.
hey Sakara, what are you speaking? Sita killed Chanakya. Sita was killed by Chanakya. So you confuse a lot, no? Sakara is a character who keeps on confusing a lot. So Sita was not killed by Chanakya. You remember, that is the story of Ramayana. Chanakya is a historical character. The writer of, yes, his other name was Kautilya. Chanakya Kautilya, Arthashastra. And I will kill you as Jatayu did Draupadi. Jatayu actually tried to save Sita when Ravana was taking away Sita on the chariot, flying chariot, Pushpak. So he makes an effort to strike her, Vasantasena says.
Ah, mother, where are you? Oh, Charudatta, here I die without having the longing of heart fulfilled. I will cry out for help. No, it is rather shameful that Vasantasena should cry for help. Woe to Charudatta.
Does the slave girl speak out that rascal's name even yet?
So he seizes her by the throat and presses it.
Remember him. Wench, remember him.
Vasantasena says she has Charudatta in her mind and now she is being throttled by Sakara. Vasantasena says,
Hell to Charudatta.
Die, wench.
so he strangles her. And then Vasantasena loses consciousness and falls motionless. Sakara is in great joy. Sakara says,
I have murdered this vile lady who is the receptacle of all vice, the seat of all impudence, who had come here out of love for a poor man and who falls into my hands as if in jaws of death. What shall I say of the dweller of my arms? She has lost her breath and she is dead like Sita in the Bharata. The quotation girl would not love me even though I loved her, so I killed her in resentment. Seeing that the garden Pushpakaranda is lonely, I quickly strangled her to death. That brother of mine, my father, as well as my mother, like Draupadi, have been deceived, being unable to witness my heroic exploit today. Well, the old jackal will return here now, so I will step aside and wait.
so Vita and Savakaraka, they enter the stage. Vita says,
Sthavaraka, the servant has been persuaded by me to come back, and I will see that son of an unmarried woman.
he walks about and
Lo,
looks around.
a tree has fallen on the path and has killed a woman in its fall. O sinner, why have you done this wicked act? When I see that a woman was slain by the fall, O sinner, we are also brought to ruin. This is an evil omen. And now, as a matter of fact, I begin to apprehend of the safety of Vasansena. The gods shall ever do what is good. Approaching to Sakara. You son of an
Sakara and
unmarried
says,
woman, you son of an unmarried woman, here I have persuaded Sthavaraka, your servant, to come back.
Welcome, sir, little son Sthavaraka, my servant. Welcome to you also.
Yes, sir.
Restore me my pledge.
What pledge?
Vasantsena.
She's gone.
Where?
She has gone only after you, sir.
Doubtful, doubtfully. No, she did not go in that direction.
In what direction did you go?
Towards the east.
Well, she went south.
I come from the south.
She went north.
why do you talk very much agitated? My heart does not get satisfied. Therefore, speak the truth. So Vita is challenging Sakara. Sakara says,
Sir, I swear by your head and by my own feet. Now compose your heart. She has been murdered by me.
so Vita is dejected. With
You
dejection, he
really killed
says,
her.
If you don't believe my words, then behold the first heroic deed of Samasthanaka, the king's brother-in-law.
Now he points to the body, points out the body of Vasantasena.
Alice. Alice, unfortunate I am. I am undone.
He falls in a swoon. Sakara says,
Hey, hey, the gentleman is dead.
the servant says,
Oh, sir, come to yourself. I am the principal murderer for I brought to the chariot hither, without looking into it.
so Vita is now coming to himself, regaining his consciousness. With feeling of pity, he says, Vita,
Alice, Vasantsena, the stream of courtesy is dried up. Rati has returned to her own abode. Alice, Alice, You were the ornament of ornaments. O beautiful faced lady, it was you that made the a- amorous
Amorous,
port itself
resplendent.
resplendent. Ah, you were the stream of goodness, the isle of mirth. Alas, you were the retreat and support of men like me. Alas, alas, the market of Cupid, which is the seed of the commodity of beauty, is gone, gone forever.
Shedding tears, he says,
Alas, alas, what was the purpose for which the sinful deed was committed by you who are sin incarnate has been laid low the innocent beauty of the whole city to
to
himself.
himself.
Ah,
Yes.
perhaps this sinful wretch may attribute this sinful deed to me. Well, I shall go away from this place.
He walks about, and Sakara approaches and holds him back. Vita says,
You sinful wretch, don't touch me. I have had enough of you. I shall go now.
Hey, you yourself murdered Vasantasena, and where do you run now? Huh? Scandalizing me? So a man like me hasn't anybody to protect him.
Vita
You
says,
are an accursed wretch.
I will give you money and hundreds of suvarnas, clothes and turban, and so let this great deed of valor, which is of the nature of a crime, be a common property, and not applicable to me alone.
so he is
A
trying to
curse upon
purchase.
you. It shall be yours and yours alone.
Heaven forbid.
Sakara laughs. Vita says,
Let there be enmity between us. Cease your laughter, damned by the friendship which is very disgraceful and alike ignoble. Let me have no more any connection with you. I abandon thee, who art void of all merits, like a broken and stringless bow.
Sakara says,
Sir, be pacified, be pacified. Come, let us plunge into the pond and play therein.
Even though I am innocent, this world shall consider me a sinner inasmuch as I am serving thee, who art a sinful and vile wretch. How can I again follow thee, who art the murderer of women, and who art looked at with half closed eyes in great apprehension by the women of the city,
he
with
pleads.
feelings of pity? Vasant Sena, O fair lady, be not born a courtesan. In your rebirth also, may you be born in some pure stainless family that is remarkable for its high excellences and conduct.
Sakara says,
Having murdered Vasantasena in my old garden Pushpakaranda, where do you flee away now? Come, defend yourself in court before my sister's husband.
so he holds him back. Vita says,
Hey, hold back, you accursed scoundrel!
he draws his sword, and Sakara is recoiling in terror.
Hey, you are afraid. Go then.
Vita is now speaking to himself.
It would be improper to remain here any longer. Well, I shall go to the place where the worthy Sarvalika, Chandranaka, and others remain.
So he goes out. Sakara follows him. Sakara says,
Go to ruin. Well, my little son, Savaraka, what kind of a thing is this that I have done?
Master, you have committed a terrible crime.
Hey, servant, do you say that I have committed a crime? Well, let this be so.
so he takes various ornaments from his person and tries to bribe the servant.
Receive these ornaments. I have given these to you so long as I shall be wearing them. They shall be mine. On other occasions, they shall be yours.
This sign best won't be my master alone. What have I to do with them?
Go along. Lead those bullocks and wait in the tower of my place until I come back.
Yes, master.
The
So here,
gentleman has disappeared in order to save himself, and I will put the servant too in chains in the palace of tower and keep him there. Thus the secret will be safe. Now I will go, but I shall have first a look at her. Is she dead, or shall I murder her again?
looking at Vasanta Sinha, he says,
Oh, she is quite dead. Well, I shall cover her with this garment. No, it is marked by my name. Then some noble personage might recognize it. Good. I shall cover her with the dry leaves that have been blown into a heap by the wind. Good, I will do it in this way. I will go to the court at once and lodge a complaint that the merchant Charudatta enticed Vasantasena into my old garden Pushpakaranda and killed her for the sake of wealth. For the destruction of Charudatta, I shall invent a new and fraudulent plan, a plan which is a cruel as the killing of a cow in a pure and virtuous city. Good, I shall go.
he starts to go but perceives with fear.
Oh, in whatever direction I go, there too comes with wicked mendicant in his yellow wet cloak. I once bored a rope in his nose and drove him around. He bears enmity towards me. If by chance he sees me, he will proclaim to the wall that I have murdered her. How can I therefore escape?
Looking about, he says,
Well, I will jump over this wall just where it is half fallen down and escape. Thus I hurry on, run on, as Mahendra, when bound to the city of Lanka, hastened his march over the earth, in the sky, and nether Aegeans, and on the summit of Hanuman.
so all wrong narratives you are giving. Okay, then after saying this dialogue, the story of Ramayana in a wrong way. So Sakara exits the stage, and now we find on the stage the Buddhist monk, the old Sambhavaka. He enters the stage dressed as the mendicant, as a monk, Buddhist monk. He enters. So the
Mendicant.
mendicant.
I have washed this torn mantle garment of mine. Why should I not let it dry on a branch? Here the monkeys will tear them. Why not on the ground? It will be made dirty again, but by the dust. Then where shall I spread it to get it dry? He is looking about and says, well, I will spread it over this collection of dry leaves blown into a heap by the wind. He does so.
Hello.
I bow unto
Yeah, I'm coming to the class just now. Wait. Continue. Continue.
I bow unto Buddha. Well, I shall repeat the holy words of faith. He repeats as said before, who slays the 5 men? Or rather, what have I to do with heaven? Till I have not returned the act of kindness done to me by the worthy Lady Vasansena, the worshipper of Buddha. I was freed by her from the gamblers by a payment of 10 swarnas, and since then I regarded myself as a uh, purchased by her. What can it be that makes a deep sign imdest and the leaves? Rather, it will be this. The leaves uh,
Part,
purchased up by
parts up by
parched
wind,
sorry sir
dried
parched
up.
up by wind and heat get moist now by the moisture of the garment. And so I believe the scattered leaves curl up like other leaves.
Vasantasena regains her consciousness and stretches out her hand. Sambhavaka, who has become a monk, Buddhist monk, then says, there appears a
Ah.
woman, yes.
Ah, there appears a woman's hand, adorned with beautiful ornaments. What? A second hand also. I recognize this hand, it appears. Rather, what is there to do doubt of it? Surely this is the hand that gave me protection. Well, I shall see. Evidently it is she, the worshipper of Buddha.
Vasantasena
she
thanks for water. He asks for water.
she seeks water, and the pond is far away. What shall I do now? Well, I will hold these garments over her and let it drip.
So Vasantasena now recovers consciousness and raises herself. The monk fans her with the end of his garment. Vasantasena says,
Who are you, sir?
Don't you remember me? Oh, worshipper of Buddha, whom you bought by a payment of 10 swarnas.
I remember, but not just as you say. It is better that I were dead.
Oh, worshipper of Buddha, why it is?
With
so
feelings of
Vasantasena is
despair,
feeling with despair.
because it is quite he fitting the profession of a courtesan.
Oh, worshipper of Buddha, support yourself by this creeper that remains near the tree and stand on your feet.
He bends down the creeper. Vasantasena takes hold of it and rises. Mendicant says,
In yonder monastery dwells one who is my sister is the fate. There the worshipper of Buddha shall be restored. Before she would return home, you worshipper of Buddha, walk slowly and slowly.
he walks about and
Make
looks
way,
around him.
make way, worthy sirs, make way. This is an young lady. I am a mendicant, and my virtuous conduct is above all reproach. He alone is a man indeed who has complete control over his hands and mouth, and who restrain his organs of sense. What can the king do as against him? For in his hand firmly lies the attainment of happiness in the world.
So he takes Vasantasena with him, and the scene ends. Act 7. Act 8 ends with this scene. Okay, 7 and 8, 2 acts we have done today. So we will continue reading the play in the next class. Thank you.
স্যার
Any
বলছি
questions? Yes.
স্যার বলছি যে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট যেটা আপনি দিয়েছেন সেটা না আমি সেই সম্পর্কে না আমি কিছু জানি না, আপনি যদি আর একবার